Hi guys, Oshin Hoy here, bringing you free tutorials on how to make websites. In this tutorial, we're going to start applying what you're learning in the Elementor page builder to replicating real-life websites. The website we're going to look at today is the apple.com site. Let's get into it. So at the moment, this is what we have. So if we just click Edit with Elementor, we will be able to start editing it and starting to make it look a bit more like this Apple site. So as you can see in the Apple site, we have a heading here with another heading and another heading. So we've got three headings, they're all different sizes, and then we've got two buttons here. And the background is just this image. What we will do, we'll just do a black background because we're not going to make an image like this. And as you can see for the other areas of the site, I've just selected that. We don't want to see that. But anyway, that's the brief introduction to what we're going to be doing. So we want to delete what we have here at the moment and add in a new section. And we just need one column in this section. So the first thing we want to do is we want to stretch our section. So this means that it will go the full width of the screen in terms of the content rather than getting cut off. And then we want to go to our height. I'm going to do minimum height. 400 pixels could work for this, so let's leave it like that at the moment. And then we want to go to style, background type, and color of black. Okay, so there we go. It's black background like we see for this here. Okay, so now we need to add a heading. Remember, we've got three headings we want to put in. We want to center it. Okay, so let's just say O is in yoga in Ireland. So then we can see they keep it in white. So let's change the color to white. Great. And then we can increase the size if we'd like by just dragging this like that. And okay, so we're going to, let's do it at 40. Okay, so now what we can do is we can duplicate this. I'm just going to move this over a little bit so we can see the full screen. There we go. Okay, so we can duplicate this. So this means that we have the same heading below. We can change this to yoga for sports. Okay, just something random. And then we can adjust the style to reduce the size. As you can see on the Apple side, it's a much smaller size. Actually, we'll go back to the first heading and just add a bit of weight to it, so to make it more bold, to make it pop out a bit more. So there you go. Going back down to the second heading, we can reduce the size to, let's say, 30. Okay, so that gives a nice contrast between the two of them. And we might just give a little bit of weight, maybe 400, 500, 600. No, let's go 400. Yeah, okay. So that's already starting to look a bit similar. And then we want to duplicate this one. So hovering and selecting duplicate. And we can put in, what do they have here? They have a bit of their, okay, we can just put in, so sessions from, I don't know, let's go with 50 euro per hour. Okay, just something, again, just completely random. And we're going to adjust this size, and we can make it even say 20. So again, just making it a bit smaller than the one above it. And let's give it a different color like they have. So we can change the color by going around like this in the color palette, which is this area here. We can select a color from up here, or we can just reduce the transparency. So the transparency will allow the black color to start coming in and mixing with the white. So there's multiple ways of adjusting the color. And what we'll just do is we'll just reduce it like that. So there we go. We have our 3 headings set up, and it's looking a little bit similar. Obviously it's not the same. We can reduce the space between the headings by adjusting the margin. So if we select the top one here and we go to advanced, we unselect this little box, we can go bottom, we can say minus. Okay, so that brings our first heading down towards our second heading. And we could do that with the second one as well. So we could decrease to -10 also. So if we just take a look at what that's looking like now, Yoga in Ireland, Yoga Sports, session 50 euro an hour, and it's looking pretty similar, as you can see. So then, if we wanted to have all of this content at the top of the page, like they have here, they have it at the top and they have their image down here, we could do that by going to the section and the layout, and the column position, we go top. Okay, so as you can see, theirs is up here at the top, and we now have ours up here at the top as well. We actually might just increase this to 500, which is the height of the section. As you can see, theirs takes up around 500 as well, maybe even a bit more. So if we wanted to, we could add a bit of padding to the top of this column, and to do so, just to add a bit of space up here, we can go to advanced, deselect this. As you can see, there's already some default padding. When we go back to the default setting, there's a bit of padding up there. When we deselect it, we can say 50, and there we go. There's a little bit of space between the top and the bottom, and there's space down here for an image. And there are still 2 things we're missing. We're missing the buttons. So again, very easy. All you have to do, drag over a button and put it in below. Okay, because we're going to have 2 buttons, what we can do is we can have an intersection. So we put the intersection here, and then we can put 1 button inside here. And when we're finished editing this button, we can just duplicate it and put it over here. So in terms of the button, we want to have this on the right hand side so they're close together. We can change it to learn more. Learn more. And we can take away the background image. So at the moment, the link is just a hashtag, which means it will bring us to the top of the home page. If we wanted to link it to another page in our site, we can just type in the name of that page, select it, and it will provide the link straight to your site. You can link to any other site also. So for instance, if I wanted to link to my YouTube video, then I just have to copy and paste the link in here. And when someone clicks on the button, it will lead them to the YouTube video. We're just going to leave this blank and put the hashtag in. So we can also adjust the size. So it can be, we can do a large button, a medium button, and we can have an icon in here as well. So we can just insert that, simple as we've got the icon. You can have it before or after. We're going to delete that. We don't need it. And then in terms of styling it, it's great typography like we saw for the headings. And then we have the color. So you can have the text color. We're going to leave it, we're going to put it as a bluish color like that. And the background color, we're going to make fully transparent. So this way, it's as if there is no background color. It's just fully transparent. So then a great thing you can do is add a hover color. So when we hover over it at the moment, nothing happens. But if we want to change this, we can add this color here, and we can make it a darker color, perhaps. And as you can see, there's a little bit of a change. Let's just change that so it makes it more obvious. Let's put it to this green color. As you can see, changes color there now. And then when we're done editing this, well, we might just make it a little bit bigger in terms of the font size. So you can just play around with it until you find one that you like. And there we go, that's nice. Then we can just duplicate it. So duplicate and then drag this over. Great. What we want to do now is align it to the left, and we want to change the text. So we want to say buy. And as you can see, it's not fully aligned now. So one way around that is going in between. You can see that there's this little selector here, and you can adjust the proportion that each of the columns have. Another way of doing that is by going into the column, selecting the column itself, and you can see column width, and you can adjust it here also. So if we put it at 54%, it looks like it could work. And then also a way of connecting these to be a bit closer together, the two columns within this section, is going to edit the intersection. And what we want to do is the columns gap. We're going to have no gap. Okay, so then if we want to go even further, we can reduce we can play around with the margin. So I've selected this column here, and if we go to the margin, we can go margin right. We can reduce that. Okay, maybe we'll try this one here, the margin left. And as you can see, it brings it towards the left. Okay, so those are different ways that you can play around with editing those. Let's just take a look. There's a bit of space in between. We've got a bit more. So again, you can just use the margin of your intersection and give it a bit of a minus. Okay, that didn't really work. Oh, that's margin bottom. We're going to do margin top. That's why. So there we go. As you can see, just brings it up a bit closer to the other content, and therefore makes it a bit more like what we see here. So that's a basic run through of how to make that section. So if we wanted to add an image as our background, we can just go to select the section, go to style, and select an image. So you can choose an image. You can choose one that you already have in your media library, or you can upload a file. So what I like to do for doing files is going to Pexels. Pexels, they have free images that you can use. So you can search for whatever you want. I'm going to search for a picture of yoga, and then it will show you all of the pictures that you will be able to use for free on your site. So all you have to do is select the one that you like, press free download. It will download down here. You go back to your site. You're looking to upload a file. You can just drag and drop, and it will upload. Simple as. So it might take a few seconds to upload, and you can adjust the title and the alt text. So we want to say girl doing yoga, and then copy and paste that over here in your alt text, insert the media, and it will display in your background now. So just in terms of editing this, you want to do your position as center. You want to have attachment. You can have scroll or fixed. Fixed has this nice effect of the image staying the same, and it looks like it's moving. It's really cool. I really like that. No repeat, and you want to cover. So now you can see we have the image there, and it gives it a good color, but we can't really see our text. So a good way around this is adding a background overlay to your image, which is the background image in your section. So under section, you go to background overlay, and you can have a classic one. So that is just having one like this, just one color. You can also have a gradient. We're just going to have the one color. And as you can see, our opacity is down at 0.5, which is half. So you can play around with that to find opacity level that suits the background. So let's say 0.8. So there you go. there's one way of putting in an image into your background, just to give it a bit more life to the section. As you can see, their image is down the bottom here, and it's very clear. The background of their image is all black. So that's an example of how you can do so. Then the rest of their page follows basically the same kind of template. This is just another section with a heading, second heading, third heading, 3 headings, 2 buttons again. Very similar with an image in the section background. Again, we've got a heading with an icon, another heading, another heading, another heading. So 4 headings and 2 buttons on a background image. Simple again. Another heading, heading, button, image, heading, heading, button, image. So as you can see, we can do all of this with what we have just learned. So how you can duplicate a section is by just going up to duplicate section. Then we can change the background image. So let's just keep it as a white background for the sake of this video. We need to delete the image first, then background color. Okay, it's not changing, but anyway, background image. Oh, it's because we have our background overlay still on. So you want to completely remove the opacity, or we can just change the color to the color that we want our background to be. And then, yes, okay, great. It is white. So now we need to do our text. All you need to do here is go to your style, change your text color, and just play around with it. There we go. And then we'll do the same for the other ones, the other headings, just to make sure that we can actually see it. Nice. And what did I do with this one? They leave it the same. Let's just make sure you can see it. And then the buttons, they have as the same color as well. Okay, so that is just one way of going about it. And yeah, there we go. Just another thing we can do, if we want to edit one button and want to add the same editing styles to the next one, so say we want to go for a darker shade of blue or purple, as we've changed this color, we want to also change this one very quickly. Then we can right click, copy, right click, paste style. So this will give the second button the exact same styling that the first button has. So when you do that, you might just need to go in and adjust the alignment, and therefore it's showing up as the same. So those are just some little techniques on how you can make a website the way that you want it to appear, just like any other person's website. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and we'll see you in the next video. This video is part of my series of free tutorials on how to make a website. To make sure you don't miss out on any videos, hit the subscribe button and turn that bell icon to all. That will mean you'll get a notification every time I publish a video on YouTube. See you in the next video, and happy building!